What's up? As we go live here on a Thursday night, Chiefs trailing the Ravens 7-0. Kansas City driving, though, down to the 21-yard line. At least that's where it is right now on my stream. So I could be behind all of our cable watchers up there. Is that worthy? It sure as shit is. Delco Steve, very unhappy right now, as he had first touchdown of the game, Xavier Worthy. It was plus 1,000, but Derrick Henry already scored a touchdown. And he said to me before we came on, he goes, "Yeah, I put something on Worthy first touchdown." I'm like, "Oh, that's totally a good bet." Chiefs didn't get the ball first. End around, little flip to him, boom. Dude's got dynamic speed. And he really... That's a good play. And he really knows what he's doing, obviously. Even though that bum running back he drafted in the first round's a bust. Clyde Edwards-Helaire. But you get lucky, you draft a running back in the 7th round. Pacheco's a stud. 7-7. Good game so far. If you have the over, you're probably feeling pretty good as we welcome Delco Steve in, who is he lost his sleeves. He was so mad. I'm like, who's that? Worthy? Yep, that's Worthy. About 5'10".
Oh my god.
So he's actually bigger than I thought he was going to look. You know how some college players, they come to the pros and it's like, oh wow, they're really small. You knew that he's not a big guy, but he doesn't look like
He's not Tank Dell small.
No, he's not. What was the name of the punt returner for the Chiefs? That was he was like a cheat code or like a Madden game. Hall. What is it? Why am I thinking his name?
Dante.
He was I loved him, man, but he was little, right? Like he Worthy doesn't look little. At least right there he didn't. I don't know.
Yeah. Wow. Well, don't matter how big he is, but they can't catch you.
Good start, man.
What can you do? But yeah, love some offensive football. Better than last year's preseason or primetime game starts where they were all dud games to kick off the season.
Yep, for sure. All right, so while I'm talking to you, I don't know what's going on, but it's telling me that I need to have. We're not streaming on Twitter right now. It's saying a premium account is required. Blah 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 blah. I do have a premium account.
You're just not logged in. It's not logged in on the account or on the.
But why?
On the StreamYard.
But why? So what do we do? Remove?
On mine it says go live. Like go live. Let me see if I can click it.
No, I know, but
no, yeah. Oh.
I should be signed in.
Edit.
I mean, I'm not gonna stop the broadcast to you know what I mean, to do it.
Right.
Which I think is what I would have to do. And there's so many less people that watch just on YouTube, which is like fine, I don't care. But Twitter live, we'll have a couple thousand people watch this over the course of an hour.
Right.
It's because like right now on YouTube, we have 9 people watching on YouTube right now. If it was Twitter, we'd have hundreds of people watching right now.
That's screwy.
Come on, man. The fuck? All right, well, whatever. Screw you.
Maybe you do a quick remove and quick edit ad.
So what should I do? Remove? Because the edit's not doing anything.
Yeah, I think if you do remove and then just log it back in.
Let me see.
That would be my best guess.
The stream is already live. Can't change the start time. Not trying to. All right, well, we'll try it because it's not on there anyway. All right, so remove.
Yep, gone.
And then can we add something? Can we add? Save changes? Probably just going to do the same thing.
Yeah, you go to edit, and then I think you can click select destinations again.
Why don't you do it? You have access to it right there, right? Yeah. I didn't see what you mean.
Let's see.
I don't go to anyway. I know Dynamite programming. Yeah, so as Turtle Power says, I was only a week late to the show. So last week, and luckily my wife was home tonight, but the baby actually went down. Like my 3-year-old, when I tell you this, and I probably said it the last time I was on, is driving me out of my freaking mind. Driving both of us out.
First day of pre-K, right? Today?
On Tuesday. She went on Tuesday and she was great. She didn't cry. She's great. Like it's a relief that she's not like, especially because my wife's dropping her off and mommy, she's not doing it at all. She walked right in, didn't even look back. Boom. It was good. But yes, but she's just like, here's the reality of it. And I know we have a lot to talk about with the Eagles tomorrow and everything else. But here's the reality. You don't have any children yet, Delco Steve. I'm predicting within 18 months you will be a father.
Jesus.
That's my prediction. 18 months, 2 years you'll be a father. But anyway, yeah, so like, and this is number 3. So everything that we screwed up with the first one, we usually correct it with number 2, and then number 3, it should be smooth sailing. But one of the biggest issues that I've had with my wife is the sleep training. So when they're little, you're pretty much rocking them to sleep. When I'm talking about little, I'm talking about before being 9 months old or a year. You're rocking them to sleep. A lot of times they're going to bed with a bottle or a boob if they're breastfeeding, right? But then they get to an age where you can't rock them to sleep and put them down, because the way the mind works, if they fall asleep in the mother's or father's arm, they're going to wake up in about a half hour and not be in our arms and going to wake up and yelling. So if you don't sleep train them, then that's going to happen. And you'll always have regressions to where they're able, like they're sick and you're rocking them to bed because they're sick and they're stuffed up. And then this is when this happens. I don't know why this has happened, but we're laying on the floor until she falls asleep. And then we sneak out of the room. But then she wakes up a lot of times when you're sneaking out of the room. And that's what happened last Thursday. My wife wasn't home and I'm worried about her climbing out of her crib. So she won't go to sleep without like us laying in there, and then she falls asleep when we sneak out. So the remedy for it is that you say, no, honey, it's time to go to bed. Go ahead and lay down, and you leave, set a timer for like 5 minutes, and then you come back and you rub her back and you say, honey, just go to bed. And then you do the same thing until she goes to sleep. They will always go to sleep. Might take an hour, might take 20 minutes, but you have to do it. Otherwise, every night, this is what we're going to do. So I keep telling my wife, so we're going to do this again tomorrow night. And we're going to like, when are we going to actually, because she can't take the kids crying. Like, mommy. Just have to sit there with the timer going and read something and make it a very business-like transaction. But
I'll make sure I take notes for future future situations.
So it didn't work. Did you try to do it? It won't work.
It went right back to the same thing.
All right, whatever. 7-7 Eagles tomorrow night. It's weird that when it's on a Sunday, I think you have the build up to where it's Saturday, then they're college football, and then you're like, all right, the game's coming up on Sunday. Yep. With it being a Friday night game, it doesn't feel like the Eagles are going to be playing less than 24 hours from now.
I feel like the game hasn't been that talked about, because like everyone's talking about tonight's game. Even if like even Eagles fans, like I talked to more people today about tonight's game than I did tomorrow's game. Yep. Like I think tomorrow it's going to ramp up, like of course, but the fact that the first game's now and it's like everyone's just hungry for actual football,
and
it just gets overlooked.
Yep. And then once the game starts, we'll be 75 miles an hour in the left-hand lane. Let's go.
1,000%.
Yeah, the line dipped down to 2. At least it did on the BetParks app, and I was predicting it when it went down to 2.5 on Tuesday. I said, "All right, well, don't be surprised if this goes down by 2." So if I liked the Eagles in the game, I would have bet it today just to make sure you got the 2.5, and then you win with a field goal. But I did think it was going to go down to 2, and it has. So we'll see what happens by kickoff. Might go down to 1.5, which is kind of worrisome if you're watching the lines. Less so maybe in week 1, because odds makers are off all the time at the beginning of the season. You're not expecting teams to do something that they end up doing, so we'll see. But you don't necessarily like that there's a lot of money and it's pushing the line coming in on the Packers. So, I was confident when it was at 3 points, Delco Steve. I was confident. I'm like, oh, that's a strong Eagles line.
I'm not overly concerned. It was pretty much 1.5 all off season. So
got pushed up recently.
That original number the original money came in on the Eagles shooting it up. Now that it's just you're just getting past it, getting to the point where you're getting a key number. It's like, why wouldn't you take, like, the Packers are a good team. A lot of people think they're going to be at the top of the NFC East this year, along with the Eagles. So if you have comparable teams on a neutral site field, you get one with 3 points.
Should be a push, yeah.
It's like that's like if this isn't my team playing in the game, I'm looking at that as like if I'm looking at these teams are on an even playing field and they're playing on a neutral field, I'll take the team hanging or getting 3 then over the team hanging 3.
Yeah, I thought 1.5 made. Reality is the Eagles finished their season one way, the Packers finished their season another.
Yeah, you could argue the Packers should have been in the Super Bowl.
You could argue the Packers should be favored in this game. So that's why definitely. I looked at it and said, wow, well, the Eagles are 3-point favorites after everything we saw last year. They're not 5-point favorites. But if you look at a lot of the lines, and I was just going through, did I close out of that? I guess I closed out of it. I was just going through the games, and like a lot of very conservative, not really sure where to go lines, right? Like the Cowboys are 2.5-point underdogs. History will tell you that if you have a team that has players reporting late, they typically don't have a great season. Now, I think CeeDee Lamb's going to have a great season, but does that affect them early, or do they come out swinging? Right? Like the Giants are 1.5 underdogs at home. I think the Giants are going to suck. But Sam Darnold's the starter for Minnesota, right? So, like, I don't want to touch that game. What's the other one that I was looking at here? It's the Seahawks -6. That's a huge Seahawk line against the Broncos at home. Big line.
That's thinking Bo Nix, rookie quarterback in a hostile environment, is going to struggle.
Agreed. Commanders only 3.5-point underdogs on the road in Tampa Bay. This is a Tampa Bay team that won a playoff game against the Eagles last year, and they're at home. Commanders 3.5-point underdogs. That's a light line. I think Jane Daniels is going to be spectacular this year. I overdrafted him in my fantasy football league. I'm only in one league this year.
Got him in 2 leagues.
Totally overdrafted him, and I'm fine with it because it's keeper position. And I think he's going to be dynamic. I mean, like in my fantasy league, Delco Steve, Justin Herbert. Like I took Justin Herbert with one of the last picks.
He went late in all mine
as a backup. Joe Burrow didn't even get drafted, I don't think.
What?
Dude,
that makes no sense.
But if you're not like these quarterbacks now have rushing touchdowns. Jalen Hurts is double-digit rushing touchdowns every year, on top of throwing for 3,500 yards and 20-some touchdowns. They're the guy, Anthony Richardson. Anthony Richardson's not a great quarterback, but fantasy numbers-wise, the dude could dominate. Gotta stay healthy.
He had 4 touchdowns in 3 games last year.
He was unbelievable. I was so pissed because I wanted to take him. Someone took him before. I didn't think I was going to take him that early. That's why I took Daniels when I did this year.
I got Richardson in 2 leagues. I got Daniels in 2 leagues, and one of those leagues is a 2-quarterback league, and I have them both.
Oh man, see, I don't know about Richardson's health. He was getting banged up because he was taking too much contact. Jane Daniels is a much better passer.
Oh, agreed.
Much more polished.
Richardson's probably a better runner.
Richardson's a much better runner, a better athlete, but he is so raw in the passing game. Christ, his last year he was in Florida, he had a 52% completion percentage, right?
Yeah.
So Shane Steichen knows what the hell to do with him, but he's got to stop taking that contact. It seemed like every game he was hurt last year before he hurt the shoulder and he was done for the season. But nevertheless, so feeling they're like, is it like a nervous energy? Because I saw Vince here said it earlier. It's like I've been ready for tomorrow since January. Like,
you didn't know the game. You didn't even know the game was on February and January.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Or Friday in January. What the hell? Whatever. I just tried to say.
Friday. I knew you meant. Steve. I knew you meant. Yeah, but you're waiting for that first game. I don't really have any nerves at all. I feel good about this team. I do. I feel really, really good about the offense, and I think the defense will be good enough.
Yeah, I think the only thing is the defense might get off to a little bit of a slow start. Like I think tomorrow night's more of a shootout type game.
Let's face it. You watch a lot of NFL football. You don't have dominant defenses anymore. You have defenses that are good at getting to the quarterback and good at creating turnovers, or they take advantage when turnovers are presented to them. Right? That's what the Eagles need to be. They need to be able to get to the quarterback, and they need to be able to get some takeaways. If they're 13th or 14th as far as yards or things like that, like the Eagles are going to give up some points this year. That's just in the NFL in 2024. You're gonna play in the 30s sometimes. This offense is built to do that. So I'm less worried about the defense, and I don't think the defense is going to be great. If this team's going to win anything, it's coming down to Jalen Hurts in this offense. So I think Vic Fangio is a good enough coordinator to where last year you had the combination that you had. Like they just didn't do a professional job. At least Fangio is going to be a pro, and you feel like that he's going to at least give you a much better coaching experience.
Yeah, there's going to be way more continuity in that side of the ball.
Correct.
It's
yep.
If they have a bend but don't break defense this year, they're going to have a productive year.
That's what the Fangio defense is. That Jonathan Gannon, disciple of Fangio defense. The idiot they had last year was the disciple of Fangio. We saw how that worked out. And I'm not talking about Matt Patricia. I don't even remember his name by what's it? Who was it? What was the defensive coordinator? Sean Desai.
Yeah, I'm like, it's something with a sigh.
Sean Desai. Everybody told me before the season, the defense is going to be better because that bum Gannon's out of here. And I'm like, all right. Like
Gannon was not the problem.
Desai was a coordinator for 1 year and they got rid of him after a year. Listen, I'm not telling you I thought Gannon was a great defensive coordinator. He was fine. He was exposed against the good quarterbacks, but you can't argue with the results that he got with the sacks and everything else. I mean, you're talking about a historic sack rate. And whatever. He can leave. That's fine. They just made a terrible hire. You know what happened? Gannon screwed him because he took the job late. They didn't think he was going to leave. And Fangio already signed with the Dolphins.
It's the same thing as Frank Wright, pretty much. When Josh McDaniels screwed the Colts and they hired Wright late after all the offensive coordinator positions were kind of already filled.
Yep. And DeFilippo left, and then you were left holding your pud with Press Taylor or Grow. I don't even remember who was the.
It was Press Taylor, I think. Oh, he was brutal. Freaking brutal.
Oh man. Well, I feel good. I do. I feel very good. I can't wait to see Saquon out there. That's another thing. Like, we know that Saquon's an Eagle, but because they don't play in the preseason or anything like that, Saquon Barkley is starting for the Eagles tomorrow.
You haven't got that taste yet.
No. I was watching, I don't know if it was on Instagram or Twitter or whatever, but I was watching Saquon highlights and I think hurdling guys, and he has that speed. He's probably not as explosive, where you give him a little bit of a seam off a screen pass or some type of a throw out of the backfield, he's gone.
I love how everyone talks about how he doesn't catch passes out of the backfield and we don't throw passes out of the backfield. It's like, okay, do you not remember Barkley's rookie year? And it's like, you don't think they're going to try and get him the ball in his hands as many times as they possibly can? He's
Kellen Moore's MO.
He's not the best player on this offense or even the best weapon on this offense, but he's still the most dynamic weapon.
It's a huge upgrade over what they've, Miles Sanders was fine. He was a good running back for this team.
Yeah.
He wasn't dynamic. He didn't have breakaway speed.
No.
Swift actually was very good last year. He had a good year, but
they just didn't utilize him correctly.
And he's got talent. He doesn't have the same kind of talent Saquon Barkley does. So it's still I'm still once the game starts, I'm going to be like, holy shit, Saquon Barkley's an Eagle. Cause I haven't seen it yet. So
I want them to get the ball first tomorrow so bad and just be like, all right, we're going to just torch this right now.
Absolutely. All right. Turnover in the Thursday night game here and see what happened. But the Chiefs have the ball at the 10-yard line. The problem with the snap.
No, it was a sack.
Oh, it was a sack. Chris Jones again. Yeah, so the Ravens, I guess I should have checked into this before I put a bet in. But the Ravens are dealing with backup interior linemen, backup guards, maybe even the third string guard. And they're just sending Chris Jones on stunts and they're lining him up over that guard. And that is the third time I think I've seen him in the backfield.
I'm really mad I didn't pull the trigger on him getting a sack for minus 112 or something like that. I'm like, that should have been an auto bet. I don't know why I didn't do it.
Just now they're running more trick plays. Andy's got Pacheco lining up in the Wildcat.
Think that was the play Taylor Swift drew?
Yeah. She could have.
I think that play would go to Travis. You would assume at least.
Well, I mean, you never know. And he's mad at her out on the field. I'm so Jason Kelsey'd up right now. I've had Travis Kelsey. I'm fine with Jason Kelsey. I know Trav, you're 35, but you're not slowing down and everything else. Fine, whatever. whatever. Did he get called for a holding penalty there?
Yep. Yes, he
He
did.
sure did. He tackled him, ripped him right down. So lot is being made about the security, et cetera, in San Paulo. There's a lot.
Pacheco! Oh!
Touchdown?
No. Isaiah Pacheco with
Oh, he
freaking
dropped it.
brick hands.
Well, that was he saw the footsteps. So I don't know how many Eagles fans are traveling to Brazil. I know there's just on social media, you see a lot of the pictures or whatever. And I definitely felt like that it was the violent and don't go outside of the hotel. And a lot of the players were talking about that because the team is saying like, hey, you're not going to leave the hotel. We're there for a game and that's it, as they should be. That doesn't necessarily mean that it needs to be like that for the tourists. And a lot of people that I've talked to that are out there have said, no, like, listen, you got to be safe. Don't go out with jewelry and things like that. And like it's a city of 22 million people. So think about that.
Wow.
Yeah. So what's New York? Like 8
I think so.
Or something like, yeah. So you're talking about, and the whole metropolitan area is like 30. It's the 4th largest metropolitan area in the world. 30-some million people.
2 years ago for New York, it was 8.3.
Yeah, I thought it was 8. And then they have their metro area or whatever. But the metro area for San Paulo is 30-some million, which is crazy. So I talked to Zach Berman. He's out there covering everything for PHLY. And he said it's a ton of traffic. So it's like, they'll allot 2 hours to go from the hotel to the stadium, even though without traffic, it would take about a half hour. So it takes like an hour longer than it should.
That's brutal.
A lot of traffic. But anyway, like I've seen plenty of people. I don't know if you've seen Elliot. Only Elliot can take a business trip, like covering the Eagles in Brazil. And he brought his wife out there wisely. And man, the pictures, he is all over Brazil taking pictures. And it looks like he's having fun too. So good for Elliot. So it seems like, it's like anything else. I mean, the freaking wide receiver Pearsall got shot in broad daylight in the shopping district in San Francisco. So, insane. Yeah, you can get robbed in Brazil if you can get shot a hole through you in San Francisco.
Juju
stinks. Oh, he dropped it too? He stinks.
He didn't get hit. I'll give it to him, but he still should have caught it.
It would have been a first down. He might not have been a touchdown by the time he grabbed it. All right, so they held him to a field goal there if he makes the field goal, which I'm assuming he's going to.
2 best kickers in the game tonight.
Yeah, for sure. But all right, I'm feeling good. Final score prediction?
Definitely in the 50s. I'm gonna go 27-24.
I think I have 30-21, or what did I put in my 30-20. Not and it's a 10-point win, but I don't necessarily know if it's the Eagles are up double digits. Well, I mean that it'd be convincing, but like I think it's a 1-score game in the 4th quarter. It's a close game, and then the Eagles pull away late.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Green Bay's a good team. LaFleur is an excellent coach, an underrated coach.
I agree. I think he's top 5 coaches in the league.
Really good. I totally agree. So, play caller, and Green Bay's on an easy plays, right? They don't spend on free agents. They're conservative in a lot of things that they do. So yeah, you got to draft well if you're going to have firepower, and then they have some pretty good firepower. Jordan Love needs to live up to the expectation of this big contract, and he had a good 3/4 of a season.
If freaking Christian Watson stays healthy, we saw that connection a couple years ago when Love filled in for a couple games and just pegged it, like just kept peppering with targets. So if he's healthy, he's a burner, man. He could be a problem.
Sure can be. All right. Well, they got that. The Phillies wrap it up. They were up 5-1 when I saw Lazar had given up a run. It was 5-0. Ranger looked good.
Yeah, I always thought I was checked it. Happy end of baseball season, everybody. Since football's back. Last day of baseball season.
Well, this will definitely, they won 5-2. This will definitely be, and obviously if it's a big game or if it's a playoff game, but NFL takes precedent over over Phillies baseball. Like tonight, I haven't even turned the Phillies on. I just been looking at what the score was.
I turned it on like early on. Like I didn't catch the inning, but like I saw it was 1-0. Then I flipped back, and when I flipped back over, it was 5-0. I'm like, oh, okay. The late start to the football game.
Yeah, they delayed it. Yeah, you're right. Ranger went 5 innings, 3 hits, no runs. He improves to 12-6 on the season. It's got his ERA back down below 3. Ruiz, Lazar, Kirkering gave up an unearned run, and then Strahm came in and got the save. Matt Strahm struck him out. That's the ball game. So Phil's, I mean, for the most part, and Bryce Harper played again tonight, and he's having elbow issues, and he got knocked out of the game on his other elbow. He got smacked. Took a fastball off it.
I thought it was the same elbow. I thought it was this bad elbow that he got hit on.
I heard they said it was the other elbow. I could be wrong.
Oh, I have no idea.
On the broadcast, I heard him say that.
Okay. Yeah, I was just under the impression that it was his bad elbow. Like, because he they took him out of the game for precaution because of that. Like, that was my.
I think his whole arm was numb, and they're like, no, fuck this, get him out of here. Like, Bryce, shut up, get out of the game. I'm sure he's trying to avoid an IL stint or whatever, but he's looked like he's been banged up. He took a swing at the end of the game, I guess 2 games ago, or 3 games ago now, where it was like, oh yeah, see, like he's got to go on the IL. He tweaked it, so it's a wrist, it's an elbow, it's something like that. He's got 2 things going on apparently, so you worry about that a little bit. Just if he's not, like, he needs to be healthy for the playoffs. That means he sits out, and I get it. There's not a lot of games left, and he's probably worried, hey, if I sit out 10, then I come back. What if I don't get into a groove? So,
well, you're not in a groove now. So
no, he's not.
I mean, he's getting some hits, but he hasn't hit a home run since August.
A long time.
It's like
got 20 or 21 home runs.
It's like it's almost been a month.
Yeah.
So,
yep.
If you're going to do it, now's the time to do it.
Yep. Braves are losing as well. So not that anybody's worried about the division, but
it's going to take monumental collapse to lose this division race. So if he needs to take some time, let him take some time.
Monumental, because you see what they can do. If their starting pitcher can go 6 innings or 7 innings, you're going to go Hoffman and Estevez. And it's going to be very difficult to beat the Phillies if you can do that. Sanchez gave up 2 runs last night, and then Hoffman went 7 innings. Hoffman 8th, shut him down. Estevez 9th, shut him down. Hey,
I love Estevez.
He's good. He's good.
Dude, he's good.
He's good. He's crafty. He knows how to pitch the 9th inning, and that's not something the Phillies had.
But like, he looks like intimidating on the mound.
Like, big dude.
But not like CC Sabathia big. Like, he just looks like a big dude.
Big dude. He throws hard. He has good off-speed stuff. He knows when to pitch. Knows how to pitch, excuse me. Yeah, it was a big, they gave up 2 pretty good prospects to get a rental free agent at the end of the season. Now they may sign him.
Sign him. Please.
He's a closer. They haven't really had a closer. They've been
doing the rotation bullshit forever now.
So hard to do that in the playoffs, and we've seen that the last 2 years. It's so hard when you don't have a guy that you can rely on. Now maybe he ends up being shit in the playoffs, but still, like right now, he's obviously your best option, especially with Alvarado. Kind of not your no idea.
When he pitched the 3rd inning the other day.
He did, yeah. He actually came in and gave him a good inning. Yeah, but they're definitely putting him in early and in non-high leverage situations.
Yeah, when they were down 6, I turned that game off.
The game they came back. Yeah,
I turned that game off at 6-1, and then I think I saw your post the next day for the Schwarber game. I'm like, what the hell did I miss?
But so, I mean, Kimbrel was the closer. He was a legitimate closer. By the way, Kimbrel was a good signing for Dombrowski. He was fine during the regular season. You just see the difference once the playoffs start.
Yeah, well, they also, how many times did they use him in the first half of the season? His arm was probably dead come August.
He's the last guy you want in there on the playoffs. But he did a really good job during the regular season.
But like, that's the guy. If he starts his season in July, he goes through playoffs probably pretty good because he's fresh. But now they just shot his arm so bad.
For sure. He wouldn't always pitch the 9th. I mean, but he was clearly the team's closer last year, Kimbrel. Yeah, they sometimes they do unorthodox stuff, but I mean, not really. This isn't This is the closest thing because when Kapler was here with Klentak or whatever, they didn't want to have a closer. And what you heard, or they didn't want to have, it's like, oh, well, if the high leverage situation calls for the fifth inning, then you use that guy in the fifth inning if it's the most important part. It's not the way it's not the way the pitchers are groomed and how they come up. If you ask any reliever, any major league reliever, I asked Larry Anderson, I talked to Ricky Bowe about it, whoever, right? They'll tell you that everybody wants to know their role. So mentally they know, like, I'm the seventh inning guy. So I know in the fifth inning, I'm going to start stretching a little bit. And you have a routine, right? And so you're comfortable in your roles. Those knuckleheads are like, no, well, we can have anybody be the closer. No, shut up. So at least Dombrowski values, like, they move guys around. It was only because they didn't really have a true closer. When you do, you can see what they do. They go to them pretty much every night.
Well, and then you say that, use them in the fifth inning for the high leverage situation. All right, so you come back and take the lead, and you go into the ninth, and you have a 1-run lead. Yep. Now who are you going to? Now that you used your high leverage guy 3 innings earlier.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, now you're going to some guy that doesn't know how to close.
Yeah, who's mentally not even close to being there and shitting their pants.
Yep, for sure. All right, so things are going well with the Phillies. I wanted to did you see Bill Belichick's on Instagram?
No.
Yes,
big fourth down stop.
Yeah, see, I don't agree with going for it there on fourth down. I think you punt it. You just gave him the ball at midfield.
See, like,
you're down 3 points. This isn't the fourth quarter.
Right. I feel like if you're playing against a team that doesn't have the offense like the Chiefs, sure, give it to you. Like, you want to try and amp the game up a little bit, go for it. But you just gave Mahomes a short field.
Yeah, I didn't like the play call either. I think that was
if you're playing the Steelers there, sure, I'll give it to you. Like, you don't think the Steelers
right? You're paying a crappy quarterback. Yes, you can go for it a little bit. No, I don't like it. I don't like that call.
Hey, I have Chiefs +3 or -3, so I like it. I like the call.
Good for you. All right, so let me pull this up here. Yeah, so Bill Belichick is on Instagram now. Let me see
with his hot girlfriend.
No, with his 23-year-old girlfriend. Well, I'm sure she was involved in
starting it for him
in a lot of this, right? Yeah, exactly. For sure.
What do old people call Instagram? Like, know how like they always like screw up, like mix up the names.
Well, now listen, he's going to say it.
What I think you're about to say correctly. Bill, any announcement for the people?
You know, Pat, I can't really believe I'm doing this, but I've joined InstaFace.
Yeah. Yeah, he's on InstaFace.
Yes.
Yep, he's going to be tweeting on InstaFace officially at Bill Belichick on Instagram. Welcome to social media, Bill. This is what we're talking about.
Let's go, hey, Bill.
I'm excited, and we checked it out this morning whenever we found out about this. There's a link, obviously, to his website that has a hub for.
All right, whatever. Yeah, so he's on InstaFace. He called it Snapface a couple years ago instead of Snapchat, which is pretty funny. So I was go ahead.
That was a pre-planned gimmick then.
Yeah, yeah. He's being funny. Yes, he knew that wasn't the name of it. He's trying to be funny. I was thinking about this, right? This is the first year that Bill Belichick. Think about this. This is the first year that he hasn't had a job in football since when?
The 70s.
So he was on. If you go back and you look at Bill Belichick's,
I was literally about to do the same thing.
He was early 80s with the Giants, right? So you go back and you look. He's a special assistant in 75. He's in the pros every year. Lions, Broncos, Giants. He moves up from special teams coordinator to defensive coordinator. Then he's the head coach with the Browns. And he goes right from there. I'm guessing, yeah. So he went right to New England after that. This dude hasn't had an off season, or like everything he's doing is preparing for his next year. And sure, he takes time off and takes vacations or whatever. But Once July comes around, you're in training camp mode, then you're in the regular season, and then you're playing a lot of times till February. Bill Belichick was, and now he's got nothing going on. So now he's working in the media. He's going to do McAfee. He's doing the stuff for the 33rd team. What else is he doing? He's doing another ESPN.
Is he? I was gonna say, is he on doing a pregame show?
No, he's doing something else. I'm sure somebody in chat will tell us. He's doing something else. But it is, yeah, I mean, it must be really strange they're actually playing games. And for the first time since the 70s, you're not in the NFL. You talk about almost 50 years, 45 years that he's been doing it. So yeah, you're curious if, like, when Bill Cowher stopped coaching, I don't know if he knew at the time that he would never go back into coaching. But then after not coaching, he was like, oh, yeah, like, I'm never going back.
This is awesome.
I love life. Life is awesome. I make a lot of money. I do TV for, 5 or 6 months, 5 months out of the year. And then
work
I can
a quarter of the hours.
Yeah.
If not more or less, I mean.
Oh, my God. Dude, those coaches are working 20 hours a day.
Yeah.
7 days a week during the season. In the off season, like you get your times to go on vacation and a little bit of downtime or whatever, but and that would be me.
And they're always thinking about it, though.
Always. Belichick's in charge of personnel, so a lot of these coaches are scouting and going to the combines and asking questions and all this other stuff. So you wonder if Belichick's going to be like, you know what? He's got the hot young girlfriend that's 23 years old. Says, you know what? This is pretty cool. I could do this. And then he'll be coaching someone.
Oh, my God.
Got a Mahomes sack, or he
no
works his way out of it?
He's insane.
He completes it to Travie, Uncle Travie.
He's insane.
It's pretty good, man. Oh,
it must be
Taylor. Nice. Yay. What a play. Oh, yay. So
that's the place you drew up.
That is the place you drew up. Yep. Like avoid 3 guys trying to sack you and then just wing it down the field to Travis Kelce for like a 30-yard gain.
Yep.
So did you see the story that came out that proved that it was fixed? Like that they're not actually together.
That they're about to break up at the end of the
right.
Yeah.
It's already predetermined.
Yeah, he's got a whole PR campaign on how to break up with her.
Yeah.
Or how they're going to break up with each other, I should say.
Dude, the amount of money that he's going to make from dating her is absurd. What's their podcast worth? What's he making off the podcast? $30 million a year or something?
They got $100 million for 3 years.
3 years, yeah. So split that by 2, but still.
Yeah, so
15
million.
A year for him and Jason.
Yeah, more than his NFL salary.
do for what? How long does he? How many episodes do they do a week?
I think they just do one.
Do they do one for like an hour?
I think it's every Tuesday they do because like that's the off day usually.
Yeah, so it's only once a week. It's Tuesday.
Yep.
For what, an hour?
It might be more.
Hour and a half, 2 hours.
Yeah, I think it depends. I think it's kind of just like however they go.
How they're feeling.
I've never been like a diehard listener. I listened to the Edelman one because it was hilarious. Like Edelman was hilarious.
I've listened to it too. They're good. I just don't have enough.
Yeah, I don't listen to them on a regular basis, but if they have like a guy on and like clearly like the chemistry works with the 3 of them, I'll tune into that episode.
Right. Yeah. I can listen to pretty much everything, but I know you're listening to XTU and Q102 in the morning, so you couldn't.
Yep.
That's a lot of your drive time in the morning, at least, is listening
to
regular radio.
I got a full swing of You Better You Bet now, like all season now. Like that's going to be 4 hours of drive time or 3 hours of drive time.
Oh, so, Nick Costos has got a new partner. Dude, from Seattle.
Ken with fucking bailing. Bullshit.
Yeah. You have to be a professional. Ken Barkley being a professional gambler, leaving You Better You Bet.
He won too many of those big bets. Oh my God. Worthy again? Oh.
Touchdown?
Nope.
Oh.
Almost.
Yeah, I'm not liking my bet now. Well, he floated that one a little bit too. He had to throw it a little harder to the corner. But yeah, they're going to him often right there. All right, so there's Bill Belichick. Actually, I think I had a video too. Hold on. Let me see. I can probably do this. A video of Bill and his 23-year-old girlfriend cruising around.
The moment I met him, I knew.
Let me just I got an advertisement here. But yeah, Bill, listen, maybe Bill decides like, hey, I don't need to coach anymore. I'm out. I'm good.
I mean, he gets to hang out with her 6 days a week or 5 days a week. Probably only has to work 2. I think he's going to enjoy that.
I'm sure he'll be dumping her before you know it.
It's like a lot about me.
A home router.
Yeah, it's all great when you see her for like an hour a month.
Yeah, right.
All right, let me see. All right, here we go. There they are.
Just cruising around on bikes.
Yeah. They're in Nantucket. So Belichick owns houses in Nantucket. There's not a lot of land in Nantucket because it's a small island. Oh, look at that. That's going right up on Insta face.
Oh, on his Insta face, 100%.
They're under a tree. They park their bikes. Oh, my God.
Like, kill me if this is my job to follow people around and take pictures.
For sure. Oh, there they go. Let's see. Like, oh, so all the way down there, there's a seagull. And what do you think he's saying right there?
I was going to say, what the hell could these two be talking about?
She's 23. He's fucking 72 years old. Like, come on, man. This is ridiculous.
Do you think they're pointing over there? That guy thinks you're my grandfather. That guy thinks you're my grandfather.
That's unbelievable. Yeah, so he Belichick on Nantucket, because there's not a lot of land, so he just started buying houses. So when a house like popped up next to his that was for sale, he would buy it. So he has like this compound of a couple of different houses, so it soaks up as much area as possible. He likes to spend time on Nantucket. I've never been up to New England. I've never been to Cape Cod or Nantucket or any of those places up there.
Nah, just Boston. That's it. And I was 18, so I didn't really get to enjoy it.
I went up to visit a friend, and it was like below zero. It was so cold, and we tried to go out. I don't even remember where. My mind is such mush, but we tried to go out, and like we went to these bars, and it was like you would leave the bar, and it would be so cold. Man, it's a lot colder up there than it is down here. So that was my experience in Boston for a couple days. It was ice cold, and no one wanted to leave the house. It's like awesome.
I did the Flyers Winter Classic game my senior year of high school. It was freezing. It snowed a lot.
I don't remember that one. It snowed a lot?
It was the first one. It was the Flyers' first one. I think it was the second year of the Winter Classic. And it was at Fenway.
Gotcha. Let me see here. Is the show called?
It didn't snow a lot as much in the game, but like just while we were
leading up to it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. That's why you have that. That's why you have it, so you can sit outside and be cold and be like, "Oh, this is the best thing ever."
No, it was cold. It was cold.
Has the novelty worn off of the?
So
Winter Classic?
I've went to just about every Flyers outdoor game, except for the game that was in Utah where there was no fans anyway. Right. And the last one, I was just like, kind of had enough of it. Don't need to go back to MetLife and sit my ass in the cold up there. Right. I was like, but no, like if they do it in Philly again, like I would go. Like I would get a ticket.
I went to the first year it was in Philly. I don't remember when that was. I was 2014. 15?
No, I wasn't 21 yet. So it was the Flyers. The Boston one was 2010. So I think it was 2012. It was the
Brizgalov, the HBO year.
Yeah,
it was leading up to the Winter Classic.
Yeah, so I think it was 2012 because that was the year.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
I know I was working with Sean Brace, but I don't. It might have just been weekend. So I remember going to the Winter Classic with him.
Yeah, they played the Rangers at Citizens Bank.
Okay. Yeah, 2000. It could have been the 11-12 season. But I remember going. I went to that game, and I think that was the first time Lindros was really back with the organization. Him and Bobby Clark came. I think this was it, where they came out kind of together and were skating around, and people were going nuts, which was a pretty good moment. I don't know if Lindros was really back with the team.
Yeah, they did like an alumni game.
Yeah,
the day before.
Yeah, so it was the first time I believe it was the first time he was back, and he's back all the time now, so it's good. He should be. He's an important figure in the organization.
He was up for Keith Jones's job
Is
before
that right?
Jonesy got. Yeah, he was one of the guys that they were talking about giving it to.
Oh my god. No. Yeah.
Hey, worked out. It worked out.
Well, I mean, I love Jonesy. I'm just saying, like, that's
Yeah.
the problem with hockey is why would you hire Eric Lindros to run it? When are these guys going to learn? When you look at baseball and you look at football, right? A little bit less with football, but I look at a guy like Howie. You don't need a guy with a pencil in his ear that played hockey to come in and run an organization in a franchise. Get somebody that went to a freaking Ivy League and knows analytics. That's what the Flyers should do. They keep hiring the Broad Street Boys, the Broad Street Bullies. Let's hire him as a coach. Let's hire him as a GM. And I know they broke away from that.
At least we're on the next generation of Flyers, not
the Legion
old...
of Doom. Well, it's Legion of Doom. Go Jonesy or Eric Lindros. Like, just go freaking hire a guy that went to Yale.
I agree. That's fine. But at least we have people that actually other organizations like and want to deal with.
I like Jonesy. I like Jonesy. I think Jonesy was a good hire. I'm just saying.
No, I get you. I got you. I'm just glad it's not someone from that era again. I'll take the small victories.
Hey, so listen, this is going to be, with me working at PHLY now, this is going to be the season of the Flyers for me. Because I am ready. Now, I will be off quick if they don't start off on a hot note.
You could come back. You could come back when they turn it on.
I will.
Fine.
I will. But I'm ready to embrace. I'm ready to embrace the Flyers. It's been a long time since I've paid attention.
Let's go.
So let's go Flyers.
Let's go with the Russian madness.
Oh man, I'll be talking about the third line and power play and penalty kill before you know it.
Right, you gotta get the wife on the Mad Russian shirts.
Yeah. Just show me what the design is. She right now is because she's doing shirts. She has an expo this weekend, but she has, obviously she's been working full time and like she is really, really busy at work. So she was on a call tonight till like 7:30. She was working since 7:00 this morning. So, yeah. But the shift's pretty good for me. I'm getting up and the baby's been getting up at like 3:00 and I haven't been going there and I just get up, but I've been getting up at 4 and I'm making their lunches and their snacks and getting their water together. I'm out of the house so I left at 6:00. We're live at 8:00. I left on Tuesday at 6:00 and it took me a full hour to get there. And I left a lot later than I wanted to. But it took me a full hour to get there. If I leave at 5:15, it takes me 36 minutes. 2 straight days. It's a 36-minute drive if I leave at 5:15.
I would say an hour prep for you is like having 5-minute prep for anybody else. You're always in there way early.
I need to be there at 6:00. Yeah, 6:00. 6:00 for an 8:00 is good because Tyler doesn't get in until 7, so I have a full hour of nobody there to bother me. I have a full 36 minutes to listen on the way in to whatever. So I feel prepared when we go on at 8:00. But yes, it's been good. If people haven't tuned in, it's every Monday through Friday at 8:00. It's called Philly with John Marks. Tyler Zulli is my producer. And
they called that illegal formation again.
So what are they doing? So I don't have the volume up.
I don't either. But they called Stanley again for another illegal formation.
He must not be lining up he's not on the line of scrimmage, huh?
It's the same thing as what's his name from the Chiefs last year. Who was the right tackle that they had?
I don't. Yeah. Name's escaping me.
He was the Jags tackle. Whatever.
They replaced whoever with him, and he wasn't very good.
Right. So he just kept lining up a yard back in the backfield, and they weren't calling it. Everyone cried about it. Now that everyone cried about it, now they're calling the team who's playing the team that started, and they're calling it all against the Ravens. It's just. Oh, it's going to be a brutal season if this is their new thing.
No, this is what they do all the time. The first couple of weeks, a lot of times they do it with illegal contact on the defense, and then it stops.
And the
then-
pass interference, same thing.
Right. Yeah. They come out because the league's up their butt about
Yeah,
stuff.
but this one's like those are actual okay, it's pass interference regardless. It's just to what degree of pass interference is it? And this one is just you're telling me that inch that guy's helmet isn't on the center's belt buckle is really giving him that much of an advantage? Come on.
There's a reason why he's doing it.
No, I know, but that we're gonna do it 15 times. We got it. You already got it. 10 penalties on him.
There's a lot of people in the league that bitch about Lane Johnson and how he
starts early.
He kicks it like 1/10 of a second early, and it's already hard enough to get by him as it is because he's so fucking big. And he gets a head start. Good luck if you're a defensive end trying to.
I agree.
Right,
but it's just call it a couple times and then let it go.
That's what they'll do.
It's just oh my god! The first drive had 3 of them or 4 of them.
No, I know it's annoying. Well, it makes for bad viewing. Any game with a ton of penalties.
And then how if you're the head coach, you're not just be I need you to move up a yard. I don't care. The 5 yards on a big we get a big play and we're going back 5. Right. We might as well just have the sack.
Exactly. At least it's the same. At least you'll lose it down with the sack. All right, so
sorry, I cut you off.
No, I don't even know what I was talking about. I was just talking about PHLY. So, did you see that? Are you a tennis fan, Delco Steve?
I watch the finals. I had a bunch.
Do you really?
Yeah, usually. If it's not overlapping with something else that I want to watch, I'll tune into the finals.
Okay.
My roommate in college was a tennis player, so he got me into it more. We grew up watching Agassi and those guys.
See that's what I'm saying. And I'm a little bit older than you, or I'm a lot older than you, but I grew up Pete Sampras, Andre Agassi, Jim Courier.
My parents watched that when we were kids, so we watched it all the time.
Yeah. We used to go Wimbledon on Sunday morning. Wimbledon would come on at 9:00 in the morning with who was did Dick get Bud something and Dick Enberg. Dick Enberg used to do everything. He was so versatile. But not Bud Grant, Bud Adams or something. But yeah, so the last time an American tennis player won a Grand Slam, do you know what year that is? Did you hear it?
No, it's got to be Andy Roddick.
Correct. Wow, that's a good pull. I would have never guessed that.
Oh, I know it because my roommate was obsessed with Andy Roddick. And it was before college. I want to say it was 2009.
2003.
Ah, damn.
Oh, a Grand Slam. 2003.
Right. I was thinking it was 2009.
It's 21 years.
Yep.
I didn't really. Dude, it tells you how much I don't pay attention. I would have guessed 10 years, just 10 years. I don't know why. An American, what the hell happened? How do you dominate tennis for so long? And like that, you don't have a Grand Slam winner in 20 years?
Well, I think this is the first year in over a decade where Federer, Joker, and Nadal didn't win a Grand Slam.
So these guys dominated tennis for so long, and there was no American.
Correct. Federer, and they didn't even they overlapped.
And by the way, an American male. I should qualify that. An American male, because Serena dominated for decades, Venus, and whatever.
Well, it was because Federer dominated. It's probably a little my first he had to be around when I was in high school, so 06 to 10.
He dominated for 5-10 years,
right? And then him and Nadal had their thing for a while, and then Nadal dominated. Then Joker came in, went back and forth with them. Then he dominated.
And he's dominating,
So it's they kind of all had their run where they dominated, where the other one sprinkled one win in here and there. But yeah, they have ridiculous amount of time. They almost each have they have 60 titles combined. Probably
it's because no one's playing tennis in the United States. It's got to be what it is. Got to be what it is. More people must have been playing back then.
We'll be winning a lot of pickleball majors, I'm sure.
Yeah, you're not kidding me. You're not kidding, man. For sure. I played in a tennis tournament last weekend. It's called the Lobster Scrambles, and it's not you play to 10, you get a random opposite sex partner that rotates from match to match. And then at the end of all the matches, you add up the scores, and then the top 4 from males and females advance. I won it last year. It's my first time in the tournament, and I won it. And I did not play well this year. I did not. I was not good. Also, like the female that they put you with, if they can barely hold a racket, it's going to be tough for you to win these games. So I had people with good effort that I was teamed up with, but I also didn't particularly play well. But there was good effort by my teammates. Not great.
That's nice of you to say that.
Yeah, no, they tried. I wasn't mad at them or whatever, but yeah, I would have liked to been playing in the finals against because you have some college tennis players or whatever that are playing that get pretty competitive. But yeah, so I lost that. That sucked. But anyway, yeah.
Were you a pickleball guy?
I played it a few times.
I love it. I can't believe I haven't played once this year yet. I played.
You really love it?
Oh, I love it. Yeah, so much fun. I played it like 100. I started in August last year. I played 100 times at least before it got cold, and I haven't played once this year because every time someone's asked me to play or if I tried to get someone to play, it just schedules haven't worked out.
Yeah, they have it over at my Y. Pretty much almost every day of the week they have pickleball games. You can play at 5:00 in the morning. I just haven't gotten in the routine. I just don't have any time to do it. I would honestly, I'd rather play racquetball than anything. I used to play racquetball.
Racquetball's fun.
Interception Ravens. Yeah, I love racquetball. I used to play back when I worked at the Fanatic. I used to play with my old producer, Steve Azalotti. We used to go and play twice a week because we got free memberships at the AFC, the Aquatic Fitness Center in Bala. And then, nice racquetball court. So we would go and play racquetball. It's a great workout too. I love racquetball. But they have pickleball courts over in Skipback. Like they have a league or something over in Skipback, which isn't too far from me.
I need to get into a pickleball league. That's the next thing I got to do.
Huh.
It's so much fun.
Right. Michael Chang. There we go. Some people commenting in here. Yeah, right before I made the announcement on Anthony's show, the Cuz and Glenn Macnow had a reunion episode. Now they haven't talked in a long time. So it was good to see. Them, Glenn, to come on because Anthony and Glenn, they have if you're talking about the history of Philly Sports Radio, they had a really, really good show. Their show middays back when I was working with Mike, it was Glenn and Ant from 10 to 3 because Mike used to come on at the beginning from 3 to 7. It's not 2 to 6. Now the 2 to 6 is the spot in the afternoon. Back then it was 3 to 7 because driving habits were different. More people were on the road at 6 o'clock to 7. So you did 3 to 7. And so I'd be driving down to Atlantic City. We did a weekly remote at resorts in 2008, 2009. And I would listen to them on the way down because on 9:50 a.m. at the time, from 1 to 3, there would be Tirico and Van Pelt. So Mike's show would be like our lead-in was an ESPN national show. Just Scott Van Pelt and Mike Tirico, who were never on, by the way. So it was some loser from ESPN Radio. This is like the worst possible lead-in ever. So I would obviously listen to WIP, and Glenn and Ant had a really good show. I always enjoyed that show. It's good to see them reuniting back together. All right, what you got going on this weekend, Delco Steve?
I think I'm gonna have people over for the game tomorrow. Oh. Chill Saturday. I got love her dearly, but I got one of my best friend's birthdays on Sunday, and she decided to do a winery at 1 o'clock.
Yeah,
so that hurts.
I would have sent her a text message at about 12:45, like, "Hey, happy birthday! Sorry, I can't make it."
I got too hungover the night before.
1 o'clock on a Sunday?
Yep.
Well, I'll let you know how Red Zone's going. It's about 1:30.
I haven't even bothered putting Red Zone back onto the TV yet because I'll save the extra week off of not paying for it.
That's a shame.
I saw that. I was like, yeah. And then I was just like, No,
No, not on a Sunday. No,
not the first
week.
not the
No.
first Sunday of football.
So, can you be back for the 4:00 games, or is
I
this
don't
like
know.
a 5 or a 6? Like your
Nah.
day's just washed.
I mean, I'm probably gonna. It's in Jersey, so I'm probably gonna drive
Oh,
over and just.
God.
So maybe I could just be like, I'm gonna dip whenever I feel like dipping, kind of
A
thing.
winery birthday? You're really gonna torture your friends by going to a winery for your
I
birthday?
mean,
Happy
I
birthday, hon.
I like the idea of going to a winery. We know how much I like drinking wine, but it would have been a lot better Saturday.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, I can't bitch.
Well,
It'd be like that sometime.
if you know me and you're watching, don't ever want me to go to. I don't want to go to wineries. I'm out on that. My daughter my daughter's doing cheer, so we have to go to all the football games, which are on Saturday morning.
Yep.
So I'll be at 8:15 somewhere on Saturday morning as the spring forward, whatever they are, the probably like the 60-pound teams playing. So
No, see, the weight
fun.
class. It's weight class, okay.
yeah, youth football is big up here. They have a lot of kids that play. I was surprised how many kids, and it's contact. I just thought like most kids are playing flag football these days. Like
Right.
a little bit older. Nope, there's hundreds of kids in this league. Anyway, all right. Well, man, listen. Have a good weekend. Enjoy the rest of the game. The Ravens driving as we speak. They're inside the 20, and they're down with 20 seconds left to go, and they have 2 timeouts left, so they'll burn one right there. So it's going to be coming down to the fourth quarter here, Delco Steve.
Let's go. Chiefs -3.
All right, man. We'll talk next week. Good weekend, everybody. Talk to you tomorrow morning. Hey, Trey Thomas is going to be on the show tomorrow morning.
Oh, there you go. That's a pull.
My buddy Trey. Yeah, he's a good dude, man. I texted him like, yo, man, I need you. He's like, oh, man, I'd love to do it. So Trey Thomas tomorrow, 8 o'clock, PHLY Sports. And if you have a Roku TV, we have our own channel that
Oh, there
plays
you
24
go.
hours a day. It just rotates all the programming. And so you can watch this live on Roku
Nice.
tomorrow at 8 o'clock. All right, everybody, have a good one. Good weekend. Go
All right,
Ravens.
brother.
Go Birds.
Go Birds.
Go Birds.